Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Crafternoon with Camrose Public Library. For today's project you're going to need a little box cutter, a pair of scissors, a couple of empty pop or water bottles that have the lids with them, some painter's tape or some masking tape, some acrylic paints of whatever colors you love best, and some string or twine. So we're going to start by cutting off about the top third of our bottle. So super careful with this. If you're not confident with a utility knife or a box cutter, maybe get a grown-up to help you with this part. So once you have it cut off as even as you can make it, you can even, mine is totally not even. Can you see that? I did a terrible job. You can take your scissors and try to even it out a bit, providing you have good scissors. There, fairly even. So we want to keep the lid on, and we're going to have to paint this. So we're going to take some painter's tape or masking tape, and we can cut it into whatever shapes we want to. The first one I just did stripes up the bottom of from the bottom to the top. I'll show that to you in a minute. But I'm gonna do some rectangles on this one. So I'm just cutting some little rectangles. My apologies if you can hear the music coming from my pocket. That is the Doctor Who theme, and I forgot to turn off my phone. Oh, at least I'm not on mute, right? So little circles and squares. Just going to place them randomly all over, and this is going to make little spots that are empty of paint. Once I'm done painting it, and once the paint dries, you can peel it off. You'll have a really cool block design. Now, if you can see, part of the label didn't come off, so I'm not putting tape over that because I want to paint over it to hide the fact that I couldn't get it all off. One way to get that all off is to soak your bottle in some super hot water. That will help with that. So once you think you have enough little geometric shapes, oh, I've got a whole empty side, I need a couple more. Once you have enough shapes, what we're going to do is we're going to paint over this entire thing. I think that should be good. So using acrylic paint, and this might take a couple of coats. So if you stick your hand inside, just be careful because it might be a little bit sharp. You can start with the cap first. So you want to paint over the cap because you want this entire thing to be painted. You don't want anyone, other than the shape of it, to know that it used to be a pop bottle. Painting, painting. And over the entire thing, here we go. We're still going and going and going. Boy, somebody really wants to talk to me. My phone is ringing again. Can you hear it? Is anyone out there a really big Doctor Who nerd? I'm kind of a Doctor Who geek. So you paint over the entire thing, including try to get into that little ridge underneath your bottle. I'm not going to paint the entire thing because time is limited in these videos. So I'm just going to put this up to the side, but you get the idea. Once you get your tape on, paint the entire thing, set it away, set it off to dry, put another coat on if you need to. If you find it's too streaky, like mine's pretty streaky. This is the first one I did, but I'm not going to repaint it right now. I might do it later, but because I want to show you guys what this looks like once you pull the tape off. Once you successfully pull the tape off. My tape is a little too sticky. Might be better with painter's tape. Masking tape is pretty sticky. There we go. See how it has little holes in it? And now what you need to do is take a sharp pair of scissors or your utility knife and make 3 or 4 little holes evenly spaced around the edges. I think my scissors will work well for this because I've got some pretty pokey scissors. 1. I'm just going to do all my purple sections because I have 3 purple sections, so that works out quite well. And then you need 3 lengths of yarn, quite long. I would say maybe 2 to 3 feet. And the way I get my strings even is I just figure out how long I want it, then I fold it and do that another time. And you can cut it from the rest of the yarn. And then where there's little loops where you folded it, snip in there and you'll have 3 even lengths of string. You take one end and you tie it all together. Like that. And then each of these strings is going to go poked through one of these holes and tied on the inside. That might be the tricky part. You could even hot glue it. Hot glue would work as well. But then once you have this little thing all hooked on, I'm just going to stuff them through there. I'm not going to tie them, just so you can see what it's going to look like. Whoop. My fingers are not doing what I'm telling them to today, and they're going to be super duper purple because my paint is not dry yet. So one poked through that hole, and one poked through this hole, and my final one poked through this hole. You could even hot glue them from the outside too. Once you have them poked through, that might work well. And then just paint over the glue with some more paint. But what it becomes is a little hanging planter. So either inside or outside, depending on what kind of paint and string you use, but you fill it up with soil, and you could plant some smaller flowers in there, or succulents would look really cute in these, especially if you have a whole bunch of them all lined up, hanging from different lengths. So, happy crafternooning, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.